channel. I'm Stephanie with Chubby Girl in the World, and I am so happy to have you here. Today we're going to talk about, in this Sunday Style Guide, we're going to talk about texture and how to use texture to kind of enliven your outfit or maybe use your existing pieces in a different way. So I'm not feeling that great today. I started my Shark Week today and it was not fun. So if I'm a little bit kind of like low energy, that's why like the first couple of days of my period are just like, I'm not okay. And if you're the kind of person that's squeamish about that, then sorry, but it's a human like function, so get over it. I don't know what to tell you. So if I'm a little bit more salty, that might be why. My husband, however, is an absolute legend because he's out right now repurchasing the vegan coffee caramels that I love from Lolly and Pops. So shout out to Lolly and Pops. This is not a sponsored video, but I wish it was. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this first outfit, and if I look down, as always, it's because I'm looking at my iPad. So this outfit, this sweater here is a ribbed sweater. It has the chunkier ribbing, like a frog. It has the chunkier ribbing at the top to create some textural interest. So if you say had a pair of leggings, like some leather jeggings or leather, like faux leather jeggings or faux leather bottoms that have kind of like that really shiny sheen. So like that sweater with say these kind of high-waisted faux leather jeggings would be a pretty interesting combination. It'd be pretty cool to wear to the office, or if you wanted to jazz it up to go out, you could wear with something like this where the model has like a cold shoulder top that's more streamlined, and you could wear that out to a party. And so you've taken, you know, 3 pieces, and you have anywhere from 2 to 3 different outfits at that point because you can mix and match those things. So I think the whole point of texture is to just kind of play with it and make it so that you can feel like you are getting into maybe trying out different style without having to go all the way out of your comfort zone. So sometimes when you play with texture, like maybe you play with a polka dot pattern, like for instance, or not polka dot, but like a lace. Maybe you want to try lacier like tops, but you're not comfortable with like an all lace cardigan or an all lace top. Something like this, like the Joanna Hope lace trim tunic. This one's $74.99 at Simply Be, so I wouldn't obviously pay that much for something where you just want to try it. But if you can find something similar at Forever 21 or Old Navy, where you just kind of have this trapeze top where it's just like the lace, it's almost like a lace shrug, or that could be another thing too. Instead of buying a whole new piece, you can take one of your existing camisoles and find a lace shrug and put it on top, because you would get a very similar look here. So that would be a way to try out like the lacier sort of styles, especially with spring and summer coming. Lace usually is always in, like that's kind of like a modern romantic style. I think it's always good for date night. That's just my opinion. Another style that I think is pretty overlooked is the pointel, like the pointel cardigans and the pointel sweaters. So this one is from Torrid and it's gray and it has a specific pattern, but there's some really cute ones where you can find pointel sweaters that have patterns of like a geometric pattern, or they have a floral pattern, or they have, you know, different like fandoms will have these things, and it's just really pretty, and you can put any kind of color underneath, and then that color is then reflected in the pattern. So it's kind of a neat, almost like, you know how when like you get a wedding invitation and they put the envelope in like an envelope sleeve with like the little lacy things. You know what I mean? It's like, it just looks fancier. So like if you're trying to elevate a look, wearing a pointel sweater would be able to elevate a look. Like if you just have a plain tank top or plain cami underneath, that might be a little too casual for some events or, you know, for work. So putting on a pointel cardigan underneath that would, one, be great for summer because they're not too hot, because they're just like sweaters with a bunch of little holes in them, but it also will elevate that look to an office look. Another thing is, so this sweater is another pointel sweater that has this specific, this is from ModCloth. And again, these ones are just a little too expensive. My suggestion would be, unless you find something you absolutely love and adore, and you know you're going to wear it, at least, my rule is always, am I going to wear it at least twice a week? So if I'm going to wear it at least twice a week, then I will spend a little bit more money on it. But if it's something that I'm just buying because of the way it looks and because it's pretty, then I will try to stay in under like the $40 range. It's not always possible, but you know, especially for seasonal wear. So another thing from ModCloth is this scalloped button-down shirt. So to me, scallops as a design feature, as an embellishment, it's not really a texture, but it kind of shows up as texture. For me, scallops kind of relate a playfulness. So if you have a very traditional job, like if you're an attorney or you are someone who works in a very professional environment, scallops may not be the ideal embellishment for that particular wardrobe. But say you are going to a after work event, or you're going to a party, but it's still kind of like a cocktail party, but you're trying to have a more relaxed sort of look, then I would say that these would be appropriate. Most people in the workforce nowadays, it's perfectly fine, or on a job interview, I wouldn't necessarily wear these unless your job is in the arts or in fashion or in like a more creative position. And I only say that because even though I don't think people who wear kind of whimsical things are less professional. I don't think that at all. But it's a signal. In economics, it's what we call a signaling behavior. And so if someone doesn't know anything else about you and you show up to a job interview with a Peter Pan collar and scallops, they're going to assume certain things about you. They're going to assume you're like the mad pixie woman, you know, in the movies. They're going to assume you're like Zoe Deschanel's characters or whatever. So you just want to be conscious of where you're going, what you're wearing to certain events, and what you can be assured is appropriate, and what you can kind of maybe is iffy. So that's kind of another way to use texture too, is to kind of elevate a look so that it doesn't you make it a little bit fancier than it actually is. So the garment, so this is from Elizabeth St. James. I can't say enough how much I love Elizabeth St. James's clothes. I love them. And I'm waiting until after the April Curvy Closet sale to purchase anything from them, because if I don't find like a bunch of items at that, then I'm just going to probably spend half my yearly budget at Elizabeth St. James. They come out with pieces that are consistently fashionable, not very expensive. They're pretty on par. I can't speak to the quality because I haven't ordered anything from them yet, but just looking at the clothing, it looks pretty well put together, and I'm so excited to try. And it's a US brand. It's from a woman who's based in St. Louis, and she's very active on Instagram and social media, and I am here for it. I'm so here for them. So this piece is it's a sequined sweater, and it's got like the little athletic stripes on there. So this would be perfect if you were going to a Super Bowl party like on Sunday. So today is Super Bowl Sunday. So I don't think that, watch the game or whatever, and maybe you'll watch this video later. That's totally fine. Me and my husband are not into football, and we totally forgot that it was Super Bowl Sunday or Super Bowl weekend. And he went to the store and he was like, there are so many people. But I digress. Um, so I think that texture, so like the sequins, elevate that look where you can wear that to a party. Like if you were going, say you're going to stop by your friend's Super Bowl party, or you're going to go out to a bar to go watch the game, or you're going to go to like an event. You could wear that, still be comfortable, and it's still sporty, but you can feel kind of an elevated look in that sense. So, and another way to do that, maybe you want a little more low-key texture. This is from Simply Be. It's an Oasis Curve rib wrap sparkle knit sweater. That's a lot of words. Again, a little too expensive for my taste, $50.99. I suspect that this is a pretty thick material. It is a UK brand, so I think their winters over there are a little bit harsher than ours here in Oregon. So I think the sweaters tend to be a little bit more heavier, a little bit more better quality than ours. But this is a sparkle knit dress, and it's the same thing where, you know, a rib sweater, it's not going to be life-changing, but if you add some sparkle to it, it literally changes it up and you just have something there where you're not, it's not completely, it's just not plain and boring, and you're able to pair that with, it would look great with a very pretty like velvet wrap skirt or something like kind of flowy. That it would look really nice with something like that. So the next two outfits you guys have seen before, that they were part of, I think, a Sunday, one of them was part of the 12 Days of Christmas, and then another one, I think, was part of a haul. I think I may or may not have posted it on my Instagram, I'm not sure. But this one is my sequined, so I had a sheer top that had sequin collar and then a sequin tank top from Lane Bryant on top. This is kind of my holiday, you know, office to office party look. And if you look at the pants, they're the Old Navy pixie pants in that, and they have kind of like this mermaid sheen to them. And so the whole look is meant to be shiny. It's meant to be festive and holiday. And so I kept my makeup very neutral. The point of something like this is that it's going to catch the light in different ways. So the sparkle on the collar is going to catch the light in a different way than the sequins on the tank top, and the back of the tank top is not sequined, so it's just like the front of me that is, and so that's sparkly, but the pants are sheen, so it's a different, it's catching the light in different ways, and it's the texture, it's providing a point of interest so that it's not just like, oh, I'm wearing a black tank top with a sheer shirt and blue pants. So you could do that and it would be a little bit more understated, but the point of this outfit was to be attention getting, to be, here I am, and to be a little bit more bold. So if you're trying to be more bold, you might want to pair things that are similar, like a sheen with a shine with a sparkle. So does that make sense? I think I'm making sense. Tell me if I'm not making sense in the comments. So this outfit is one of my favorite sweaters. I did get it from Simply Be, and it's one of my favorite sweaters because it's got like the grommet detail that has a V, and it just creates like a super slimming line, and I love it. I like slimming clothes, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Like, I like who I am, but I'm working on myself, and I like it when things make me look smaller. I like it. I'm gonna say it. I know that's an unpopular opinion, especially in like a body positive community, but that's what I like, and I think that it's okay for you to like that without having to overanalyze like why you like that. And yeah, maybe it's a little problematic and maybe like I shouldn't want that, but I do, and I can't like help liking that. But this gold, this shiny gold skirt is very, very long on me. And I think this is a way to not do texture. I don't really love this outfit. So this is a good way of taking two pieces that I really like that I don't think work together very well. I actually ended up changing out of this outfit because after my husband took this picture, I was just like, I don't like this. I'm not going to wear this. I really think that when you're wearing a very long maxi skirt, especially on someone who's 5 feet tall. So on me, this outfit just looked like I was wearing 2 sacks of cloth. It didn't do anything for me, even with the slimming line. So what I ended up doing was switching out the skirt for a pair of jeans, for a pair of slim jeans, and that just changed the entire look and made it so much more fuss-free, first of all, and then second, it made it just look more put together. Even though this skirt is fancy, like that skirt with this sweater just didn't look right, and I didn't love it. And if you are about to walk out the door and you just feel uncomfortable and you don't love it, then just don't wear it. That's a sign that you probably aren't going to be comfortable the rest of the day. And being comfortable, I think, is the number one priority, and looking and feeling good, like feeling good to me is the number one priority. Looking good is second priority. Well, be kind first, then feel good, then look good. But there are ways to put things together where you can love two pieces like that, and I love each of those pieces individually, but they just don't mesh together. What I should have done was taken a more form-fitting shirt and stuck it underneath the skirt waist, because that is how that skirt should be worn on me. Sorry, I had to take a break there. I'm just not feeling that great, guys. So I would say, when it comes to using texture, you can play around, and also if you're going to wear something that you've never worn before, or a texture that you're not really sure how to use it, maybe go and take like if you're in the store and you're like, oh, I really want to try this lace cardigan, or I really want to try this Pontel cardigan, or any of any of the things we talked about today, but you're just not sure what it would fit within your current closet, go and look for something that's similar to what you already have, and then just like hold it up or put it together with the thing you're thinking of buying and see how you feel about it. Always just follow your intuition. Our intuition knows what we like and what we don't, and there's just a lot of different ways to use it and play around and make sure that you're having a good time and fun with fashion. No one has to be perfect. There's no such thing as the fashion police. No one's going to come and arrest you for wearing the wrong outfit. I've definitely worn the wrong outfit many times, and I'm cuff free. So thank you so much, lovelies, for hanging out with me, even though I didn't feel that great today, and for just hanging out, talking about fashion with me. Let me know in the comments down below if you have questions about outfits, if you want to know more about texture, if you tell me about your texture stories. What things do you love wearing? Are you a lace wearer? Are you someone who loves patterns? Are you someone who loves like shiny pants or leather pants? Like the faux leather, because faux leather is way cheaper and it's just kinder. So until then, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and thank you so much. Bye.